midfield, and he bounces the shot over Jelinas. Colby Baldwin trying to go face-off goal there, but can't get it quite to go. Penn State retains possession.
Colby Baldwin, huge win there against Michigan. Didn't have his best outing, and we kind of figured that he'd come out here on a hot streak. He has a tough competition all day long with Logan Callahan, who speaks for himself with a 62 win percentage on the season.
Nittany Lions looking for an early start. Kyle Lehman has it, spins. It's Quentin Kilrain that's wrapped around the sophomore, and Lehman, who gave it off to Trainer, now long. Hunter Aquino gets it to the near side. It's given back to Lehman. Lehman pushes his shot, brings the iron. Aquino grabs the rebound. Shot clock resets for the Nittany Lions. It's a little bit of a slow start last week against Michigan. Trailed heading into halftime as this centering feed ends up in the grass. Kyle Lehman, the lone Nittany Lion, fighting for it. Hopkins trying to come away with it, and they will do just that. It goes in the crease of Jelinas, who pushes the pace.
This is where the game is won and lost by Penn State. Ohio State and Maryland, the two losses for Penn State's in-conference play, was in transition. That's where Maryland and Ohio State were able to win it. Penn State with an early turnover here.
Great defensive play that time from Ryan O'Connor. Gives way to the Nittany Lions' second possession. Kyle Lehman controlling the offense from the near side. Lehman, a career-high 4 ground balls last week. Took a step back offensively. Did have a goal, his 14th of the season. 14 goals, 3 assists, 17 total points for the Ambler, Pennsylvania native. Now with 41 career points in his career. It's Hobbs, far side. Gets it down low. Trainer at X. Pushes it up to Lehman. Lehman, a little bit of a high pass. Luke Wallstrom managed to jump up and grab it. Wallstrom pushing back. Gets it up. Shot sails wide from Will Peden, the senior. Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Penn State closest to it. Backing up it was Luke Wallstrom.
Yeah, for this Penn State offense, it's about the quality shots that they need to get off against Ohio State and Maryland. Not maybe the best of looks. They got to get good looks early on here.
Wallstrom with it. A goal versus Michigan extended his point streak to 5 games, which he has 13 points over that stretch. Shot by Trainer, blocked out in front. Trainer goes and grabs it on the far side. Peden circles around the net of Jelinas. His turnaround shot, that one sails wide. Jelinas closest to it, so Johns Hopkins will get another possession. Failed to be able to clear it the last time out. That gave Penn State their second offensive possession, and now Johns Hopkins, who's been struggling offensively this year, 10.64 goals per game, but that's a number that's dipped down in conference play. 10 goals a week ago. The 2 weeks prior against Rutgers and Michigan, just 8. Long pass misses. It's still going to be Hopkins' ball. Hunter Chauvette.
Yeah, that was dangerous. 10-minute ride there for Penn State. He tried to take a shot across the way. We saw Brendan Leary score one for Penn State last week against Michigan. It seems to be the theme this year, goalie goals and any shots across the midpoint line.
Get it down low. It's intercepted that time, but right away, Brooks English knocks it back free, picks up the ground ball, and Hopkins gets possession right back. John King losing it that time for Penn State after taking it away from the Blue Jays. As now English pushes from midfield, gives it back to Rawson. Rawson at English. Far side Chauvette, and they'll circle it down to Charlie Eiler at X. Matt Collison, who had the game-winning goal a season ago when these two teams played, controls it and passes it to Bauer. Bauer circles towards the midfield. Chauvette, the pass goes off his stick. Collison there to back it up. Fight for the free ball. Nittany Lions pick it up. Alex Ross, the ground ball that time for the Nittany Lions. Ross into the midfield. In the offensive third of the field, flag flies as Lehman has the ball in his stick.
And this will be on Johns Hopkins, so Penn State can kind of let this time ride out, get the offense set up, and get an opportunity, man-up opportunity. We've seen them capitalize a lot this season off of it, especially early on with Jack Amon scoring 5 goals against Yale.
It's Trainer Wrapped all around him is Scott Smith, the All-American defender. One of the best in the nation.
There's Amon.
As now Amon's shot. That one gets blocked. It was Brooks English in the way of that one. Just about 5 minutes gone. Flag still on the field. Man up opportunity coming for the Nittany Lions, but Kyle Lehman right now able to spin off the defense of Dylan Bauer. Circles around Jelinas. Pushes through. His shot sails wide. And we will finally figure out what the flag is for.
Man, Justin, Kyle Lehman had Jack Amon off the slide from Johns Hopkins. Not good communication. Amon sat right on the crease. He might have had a really good shooting opportunity. You see here Lehman just trying to get a shot on net here, get something going. I mean, again, he's been really, really efficient. He's a speedy, agility type of guy. And they're trying to work through the double team.
It's Brooks English that goes into the penalty box. Offside was the call. So an extra man opportunity for the Nittany Lions. Have had a bit of success in this category this season. I'm hoping that it plays through here early against Hopkins. Trainer. Amon, his shot. That one ricochets off of Jelinas and possibly the iron. And the opportunity goes the way of Johns Hopkins. So early success for Oren Jelinas in net. The Massachusetts native keeping Penn State off the board on their man-up opportunity. And Hopkins is just going to run this one away.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. Penn State so far this season, they've been able to win the first and the fourth quarter by a pretty good margin. The second and the third is where they struggle, and Johns Hopkins is almost basically the reverse. They're able to win the middle 30 minutes, so if they can keep this close throughout the first, settle in immediately, give their goalie some confidence, this is going to be a good day for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays back to even, shutting down a Penn State man-up unit that leads the Big Ten, 43.8%. As Ayers is getting things started, Chauvet passes it off to Stuart Phillips. Phillips to Eric Chick. Chick pushes in. And we'll circle back down. 24 on the shot clock. Gives it off to Jimmy Ayers, the Massachusetts native, trying to find Stewart. Penn State there again. This one picked up by Chick. Ground ball free. Dylan Bauer, the graduate student, goes and circles behind Jack Frassian.
5 on the clock.
5 on the clock from X. Bauer all over him, Ross, and that ball free for a second. Shot clock violation, and Penn State will get possession. Alex Ross all over there on the defense for the Nittany Lions.
I mean, it's just been huge defensive stand, and even in transition, Penn State's just absolutely dominated. Look at the stat sheets right now. Penn State 8 shots, Johns Hopkins just 1. I mean, that is a huge differential for anybody, but right now, scoreboard is 0-0, so for the Blue Jays, you got to come up with another big stand here.
7 scoreless minutes down in this top 20 matchup, and it's no surprise this Hopkins defense, despite a record that might indicate otherwise, has had success shutting down opponents. Is now Wallstrom. Looked like he was going to try for a wraparound. Instead, will pass it back up top. Aquino runs in. His shot sails wide. Backing it up that time for the Nittany Lions was Ethan Long.
I was about to say, we haven't really called Trainers or Aquino's number too much so far early in the opening minutes, and already trying to get 23 involved in the offense.
Long. That shot. Another one that sails wide. Luke Wallstrom, closest to it for Penn State. Go back to last year's matchup. Trainer and TJ Malone relatively quiet considering their seasons a season ago. As Wallstrom wraps again, it goes wide. Long closest to it, kind of flipping the script, these two going back and forth. That is Wallstrom and Long. But back to last year, it was this defense suffocating a Penn State offense that was nearly unstoppable at times last year. As now Long circles. He loses it. Good play from Quentin Kilrain that time, and possession goes the way of Scott Smith and the Blue Jays. Quentin Kilrain in last year's matchup, just a freshman here in his sophomore years, continued to do what he did a season ago.
And offensive coordinator John Haas for Penn State not happy about that possession. As you kind of just saw, all the shots went wide, not really anything getting at the body of the goalie.
English finds Bauer. Bauer allows the rest of the offense to reset. Pushes it to the outer alley. And now we'll pass to midfield where Chuck Rawson, the Burlington, Ontario native. Pass it around counterclockwise. Bauer. Pushing in. He'll pass back out. And a pass to Charlie Eiler goes awry. So another turnover for Johns Hopkins. Their offensive struggles continuing in this first quarter. The two teams still scoreless. Still looking for the first blow, as losing it at midfield is Ross, trying to fight back for it. A big scrum, middle of the field, and the Nittany Lions come away with it. But a foul on Penn State. So possession goes in favor of the Blue Jays. 5:44 to go in this fast-moving first period of action from Panzer on this April Saturday, a cloudy one, a cold one. A whiteout crowd here for the Nittany Lions on Alumni Day. A packed house. Hoping to see Penn State get their 8th overall win and their 2nd in conference play. Charlie Eiler from X. Passes it back down. Hopkins looking for something to go. Hunter Chauvette to Dylan Bauer. Bauer looking for the spin. Ross wrapped all over him. That shot that time from Chauvette. The lefty shot sails well wide, but Hopkins backing it up. They'll retain possession, 34 on the shot clock.
These defenses are just on one early, Justin. You can just see the physicality from both sides, not getting any quality shots on net. I mean, we've only had 2 shots on goal so far, both by Penn State.
We talk about the matchups between these two sides. 19 of them total, this being the 20th, as Bauer almost had a lane. Instead, the pass out is taken by the Nittany Lions the other way. Bartolomeo passes it off to Kyle Lehman. Now Trainer, his rip, he's got it to go, and Penn State on the board first. It took a while, but Penn State's got the 1-0 lead with 3:50 to go in the first.
I mean, that's Matt Trainor's bread and butter right there. Just sent an absolute missile out in open space into the back of the net. And how about it? Kevin Barnum coming all the way to the opposite side of the field, away from his normal defender role, and assisting in Trainor's goal. And finally, Penn State in transition. It's the offense settled right there. You can see Barnum barely get the pass off. Trainor wide open. When you give 22 that much room, it's always dangerous.
Barnum gets his 2nd assist. Trainer gets his 23rd goal of the season. This is the 2nd face-off. And the violation on Hopkins gives Penn State the win. So Nittany Lions have the chance to double up the lead they just got. As Matt Trainer continues to be up towards the top of the Big Ten in the major statistical categories, leads with 4.38 points per game, 2nd in the conference with 2.75 goals per game. He's got himself his 23rd goal of the senior campaign. Got to give credit to Luca DiBartolomeo getting that started on the defensive effort. And then it was off to Parnham, who found Trainer, and Trainer, left alone, was able to take the low angle shot and get it to go. So Nittany Lions looking to add on Ryan Duraka, the Army transfer. 7 points in his first season in the blue and white. Trainer from X. Gonna wrap around his jump shot. Sails wide. Durako, the one closest to it. 3:33 to go in the first 30 seconds left on the shot clock for Penn State. 3 shots for the Nittany Lions, none recorded on Jack Frassian on the other side for Penn State. A lot of shots for Penn State have also sailed wide, as turnover here. It is Hopkins' ball. Trainer thought Penn State was coming away with it. Instead, it will be Gelinas.
And Penn State, you just can't waste those opportunities, especially off of a Colby Baldwin win at the faceoff X. And then now a penalty on Johns Hopkins, so Callahan will have to sit the next faceoff draw. So that's absolutely huge on the next set. But again, Penn State, you got to capitalize on there.
Ride gives Charlie Eiler a chance, and it goes off the top iron. Penn State really pushing defensively on that 10-man ride, and Jack Frastian a little out of position, got back, and then Eiler rang one past him, but rung it off the iron. Could have been the 11th goal for Charlie Eiler, the equalizer in the first. Instead, Penn State up 1-0. Hopkins stays with it this time. They get it to go. Matt Collison ties it up at 1, his 18th goal of the season. And now a 14-game point streak for the Ontario native.
Yeah, Collison, 6'4", 225, the big man, the big junior, able to not even just win his matchup, he just goes over top, gets a shot on net, the first of the day for the Blue Jays, and just gets past Frastian, who just didn't really get a good read on it, didn't really come out and attack it. So that's huge for Johns Hopkins. Again, we talk about the shot battle right now, 13-4, Penn State is leading. But again, on the board, 1-1.
Penn State, the face-off here.
And another face-off violation by Johns Hopkins.
Logan Callahan, one of the best in the nation. Nittany Lions have now taken the first 3. Colby Baldwin, who was replaced at the face-off dot in the second half, where Reed Gills came in and won 8 of 9 in the second half comeback, including during Penn State's 5-0 fourth quarter run. Gills named to the national team of the week. For Callahan on the other end, over 62%, as this bouncing shot from Trainer gobbled up by the stickhead of Jelinas. So the third save for Oren Jelinas in the early going. 4 shots on goal for Penn State. Just 1 has gone, as Jelinas answering the call early.
Yeah, defender Tyler I picked up Trainer. I mean, last second he was able to just get in the pathway of his shot, stall him for a second. So that was a huge play by him just to stall Trainer for a second. Might have saved the goal there.
Brooks English from the midfield. Now Hunter Chauvette. Chauvette didn't record a goal against Penn State last year, as this pass picked off by Aldridge at midfield. Aldridge into the offensive third for Penn State. Passed it off to Trainer. Back to Kyle Aldridge, loses it.
I mean, I just got to highlight real quick Penn State's defense. I mean, their specialty, it seems like, especially over this season, has been their ability to jump the passing lanes. It's basically just a cornerback in football, able to read the pass so well, jump it, and cause a couple of turnovers. And again, a big one in there that just eliminates the Blue Jays' opportunities that they haven't had too much today.
Blue Jays with 6 turnovers to this point. Penn State 3 caused turnovers. It's 4 turnovers for the Nittany Lions, all 4 caused by Hopkins. As Will Peden slows down the pace. 31 seconds to go in the quarter. Shot clock is right around there as well. Peden pushes in, and the flag flies. Penn State keeps it. Trainer, far side, pushes through, and another shot. This one saved by Jelinas. Push for it from Carragher. Flag flies, and another opportunity, I believe, for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Will Peden charges down, dives across the crease, faces a lot of contact as he went down and through. I mean, he just put his body on the line to get in here. And then, oh my goodness, the move from Trainer to slip the double team inside. It was a great move, but it was another great save by Jelinas.
Jelinas having himself a very good start to this contest. 11.14 goals against average and .487 save percentage, 1-3 record coming into the day. 15 left in the quarter.
Yeah, they're just going to hold it and quickly set up this offense to get a quick shot. Again, you got to watch 22 and then 55 on this near side.
The Big Ten's leader in man-up percentage, the Penn State Nittany Lions, as it was Scott Smith going for slashing.
Well, they're just going to hold it and run it out.
So Ethan Long holds it the whole time. And we head on to the second. It's 1-1 between Johns Hopkins and Penn State. Mike, what's going on?
Well, right now, ball security, right? Especially for Johns Hopkins. I mean, in transition, they've already given a couple away, and then they're just being a little careless on offense. For Penn State, it's the shot quality that we've been talking about, especially in conference play. They have to find a way to open somebody up, get somebody open to get them rolling.
We head to a break, 1-1 between the Blue Jays and the Nittany Lions as you watch the equalizer in the first from Matt Collison. We'll see you for the second here on Big Ten Plus. Panzer Stadium for Johns Hopkins and Penn State, even through 1 at 1-1. Justin Chevalella joined alongside Mike Bolger as we watch Matt Trainer get the first goal of the game, putting the Nittany Lions up 1-0. Matt Collison, which you saw the replay of that goal before the break, would even it for the Blue Jays. No face-off to start with the man-up opportunity. That's why Penn State held it for the final 15 seconds, and will start with about 44 on the man-up advantage. But Mike, an early start in the face-off advantage for the Nittany Lions.
3 for 3 from Colby Baldwin. Again, he didn't have the best of days against Michigan, but now he's been able to roll out here and catch fire. He's angry and he's on one.
Nittany Lions. It's Lehman. A Trainer. Long. Out in front, Matthews takes a shot, sails wide. Liam Matthews. 15 goals this season here on the man advantage. 24 left for Penn State. That Trainer. Gives it to Long. Rips one off the iron again. Penn State backing it up. Back Eamon closest to it. The Rutgers transfer. 16 left on the man up for Penn State. They've gotten some good looks. It's not the first time we've said they've rung a shot off the iron today either. Long pushes to Matthews. Back to Long. Now Trainer up top. Gives it off. Eamon rips one, and that goes off a body. May have gotten Quentin Kilrain out in front. Penn State will retain possession. 3 left on the man advantage.
Yeah, it did. It was a really good eat there. And again, they're passing quick, trying to open up something.
That one right out in front, and Luke Wallstrom gets it to go just as the man-up advantage expires. 13th goal of the season for Luke Wallstrom. A beautiful couple feeds, and Penn State's up 2-1.
I love what Penn State did on the man up. They put Matt Trainer out in front, basically eye candy for the defense. Quick passing all around for them, as you see Trainer up top. Behind the back pass, the long down low for Wallstrom to capitalize on. It was just keeping the defense on their feet, as you said, Justin. The man up finally expired, but it was all too late, and Penn State finally gets that quality opportunity they were looking for. Those were a couple really good shots from them, and again, that's what they're going to need to continue rolling this one.
Most impressive there was how quickly Ethan Long was able to get that off of his stick and right to the stick of Wallstrom, as another faceoff will go the way of Colby Baldwin. Having an exceptional start here. Baldwin, the offensive third, passes off to Trainer. Matthews. It's Penn State reset on the offensive end. Kyle Lehman. Quentin Kilrain on him. Carragher pushes in, but Kilrain makes him circle out. Back Hobbs to Trainer. Trainer with a lane. Trainer's going to take it. He scores. Matt Trainer with his second of the contest streaked right towards the goal mouth and gets it to go. It's 3-1 Nittany Lions. A quick start to the second quarter.
Matt Trainer uses his legs to get by his defender. It's only a quick step. That's all he needs. Nobody is able to collapse, as you see. Just kind of moves inside. Nobody's able to assist him. Trainer goes across the front of the crease, top right shelf, and man, That was just a really good solo play by a trainer, and sometimes it's all you need. You just need that one guy to go out and make a play for you, let the rest of the guys sit on back and watch. And Penn State, a hot start to the second quarter.
It's no surprise to see that Matt Trainer continues to dominate, coming off of a hat trick last week as Colby Baldwin picks this one up. Baldwin almost had a lane, decided to circle it out to Trainer. Penn State will get their offense set up as Long comes on off the sideline. Aldridge gives it to Long. For the 24th goal of the season for Matt Trainer, second of the contest. 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of the second for Penn State, who is held to 1 goal through the first 15 minutes of the contest. Now Long, centering feed behind the back, and Jack Amon gets it to go. Oh my, behind the back for Amon.
Oh my goodness, that was an amazing score by Jack Amon, and 55 charging down, had one defender on him. It didn't matter though. As we take a look at the replay, Long, just great patience right there. Trainer with a great screen to draw the 2 guys out. Oh my goodness, it doesn't get more beautiful than that.
Amon with his 16th of the season, coming off of a multi-goal performance, and Johns Hopkins uses a timeout. Penn State flexing its muscles. 3 goals within the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds of this second quarter as we watch it again. Jack Amon behind the back, and we'll be back. Quick start to this second quarter. 3 goals within the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And Colby Baldwin, a big reason why. 5-0 from the face-off dot. But this time a violation on Baldwin gives way to the Blue Jays. So they'll get their first face-off win of the contest. They're looking to make the comeback, down by 3. Hunter Chauvet. Hands it off at midfield to Matt Collison. It's been a Hopkins offense that has generated just 4 shots in comparison to Penn State's 22. And Nittany Lions controlling the pace and defensively, just Mike not really giving a way or a lane for Hopkins to get anything off.
No, it hasn't. It's been this guy right here, 16, that was able to get the solo goal so far. And it's really just because he used his size to beat the defender. Outside of that, they haven't seen many quality looks.
Jack Frassian hasn't faced many as the 5th shot for Hopkins goes wide. Frassian came into the day 12 saves away from 600, would become the 4th Nittany Lion to record that milestone in his career. Chuck Rawson's shot went wide, but Frassian has only seen 1 shot, one shot on goal that is, and it went behind him. Now Chauvet. His shot, save made right on cue. Jack Frassian, his first save of this contest.
And Frassian, I thought he had his best quarter of play on this season in the 4th against Michigan. Kind of figured that would carry over into today. And as you said, Justin, already, that he hasn't seen that many shots. And a turnover here looks like for Penn State.
Yeah, pass couldn't connect there for Frassian to the far side. So Hopkins gets that free possession from the Nittany Lions after the big save from the senior from Annapolis, Maryland. Hasn't had his best season to date, Frassian. 50% on the save percentage, 9.47 goals against. Numbers a bit down from a season ago. Eiler finds Bauer. Bauer's shot off the side iron this time. And Chauvet goes and collects in the midfield. There has been a lot of orange hit in the early going. Just about 19 and a half minutes gone. The iron has been hit plenty. Hunter Chauvet. To Collison, now Brooks English. English to Bauer. Parnham the one on Bauer today. Aldridge on Collison, and the pass to English. went awry for a second. Picked back up by English, and Hopkins still has it. Slow pace to the offense. Is now a shot. That one blocked. And the Nittany Lions have it. Good body in the way that time for Penn State.
The Nittany Lions defense dropping into a zone, and one thing I'd really credit with this Blue and White's defense is that whenever somebody gets beat, there's somebody right there ready to assist them, and that time they're all just playing sound defense. Will Carlson able to eat the shot there and again get another huge stop for this Penn State defense. They're playing lights out right now.
Just one or two shots have gotten on to their goaltender, Jack Frassian, and 3 caused turnovers for Penn State. Hopkins leads in that category, 4 caused turnovers, but Gertie talked about the offensive prowess of this Penn State team. 22 shots, 8 of which have reached net, 4 of which have gone behind Jelinas. Jelinas has made 4 saves.
Kind of surprised on that screen, nothing was called there, but Penn State gets their substitutions in and the offense reset.
Amon. Coming off his behind the back shot, and now this one ripped from Trainer, so Amon will get the assist, and Matt Trainer's got the hattie.
Matt Trainer, since coming back from his injury, again, has just been absolutely fire for this Penn State offense. And Jack Amon, I got to give him credit. That was a heck of a pass. Skip past almost across the defense's face and open up Trainer to just rip one from mid-range. 22. Low to high again. He's gone back to that same shot twice now today, and gets that one to ring in for Penn State's 5th goal, 4th of the second quarter. I mean, we talked about it earlier. This normally Penn State struggles in the second and third, kind of the middle 30 of the game, and today it just has not been the case.
5th hat trick of the season for Matt Trainer, back-to-back hatties.
Good clamp.
Face-off still free. And Penn State's got it.
Reed Gill's huge win there. I mean, the guy can just kind of do it all. He's quick, he's strong, and he's kind of the best of both Chase Mullins and Colby Baldwin. Colby Baldwin more that fast agility type of guy. And Gill's coming out and putting another win on the board for Penn State, 5 of 6 now.
Gill's the freshman, 20 of 29. Now you can mark it 21 of 30 on the season. Peden. Trainer. Long pass to Long over his head. Long goes and picks it up. 40 seconds to go on the shot clock. Long kept it. Up top, Trainer. Smith on him. Bounce shot. That one sails to the left of Jelinas. 7:52 to go in this second quarter. Penn State leads 5-1 here on Big Ten Plus. It's been a 4-0 advantage for the Nittany Lions as Long steps into the circle. So turnover that time for the Nittany Lions. A 4-0 second quarter to this point for the home team.
Yeah, and Long has been a big deal in that 2 passes now. And honestly, that pass too to Matt Trainer up top was pretty big. I mean, Long's vision has been insane to start this game, but that time tried to fight through double team, got onto the crease, and obviously a big turnover for Johns Hopkins. They just got to get something going. They got to get not even quality shots, just shots on net, and hope to get one ringing in.
Eric Chick, sophomore from Maryland, gives it off to Jimmy Ayers, a sophomore from Massachusetts. Ayers pushes in. His shot gets it to go. Jimmy Ayers with his 7th goal of the season. And Johns Hopkins pushes into the Penn State lead.
Ayers with a little bit of hesitation on that opposite side of the field, and then he's just able to get a couple of quick steps off, beat his defender and Kyle Aldridge, and then get across the crease and goes right over the head of Jack Frassian. I mean, it's a really good attempt, and that's exactly what the Blue Jays needed. They finally end Penn State's run, and this face-off, in my opinion, is pretty big. Yeah, both starters back out there for both teams after a couple violations, and now if Callahan can win this and give Johns Hopkins another possession here and they capitalize, they're going to get rolling.
Jimmy Ayers now a 5-game point streak following this goal right there. Went high on Frassian. Face off free. Thrown up in the air. No one knows where it is. And Leary fights for it for the Nittany Lions, and violation. So it goes in favor of Penn State. And Leary starts with it, but back to Ayers. It's now a 5-game point streak, 4, 1, and 5 over his last now 5. And, well, 2 career games against the Nittany Lions and 2 career goals against the Nittany Lions, as he had one last year. Hopkins hoping for some more of that magic that they channeled a year ago down at home. They were able to make the comeback against Penn State and win it in overtime. Still early, 5-2 Penn State with 6:15 to go in the first half of play. Lehman has it for Jeff Tambroni's squad. Lehman. Pass out to Trainer. Aquino. He's got his left leg with tape on it. Been banged up at points this season, his freshman year. As now that shot from Amon. That one a stick save from Jelinas. All things considered, Orlin Jelinas has had a very strong opening first half for Johns Hopkins. Just needs his offense to come and help him a bit.
Yeah, they didn't capitalize on this opposite side, but again, it's been both defenses. Again, not even the goalies, but the defenders just being able to get in the way of passes and shots, and the quality of shots has been low today at that.
Brooks English, catalyst for this offense this season. English, 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points. Now it's Chauvet. Just back and forth on the passing. Now English pushes in. Leary forces him to pass out. Collison. His shot hits the side of the net. Good defense that time from Alex Ross. And Penn State quick the other way. Leary to King. Went off a body. Trainer's got it. Awkward little pass there that time.
Just a little bit. It seemed like it either got caught up in the sticks or just came out a little weird. But Penn State, I mean, Ethan Long has, again, been huge. And now here's DeRocco coming out for, I think we've seen him a couple times today, but haven't really called his name too much. He was a little banged up there for a while. Came back out the past couple of games and he's been able to assist in a couple of possessions.
Cobbs. Trainer. Talk about DeRocco's played in 7 of the Nittany Lions' first 10 games. Started in 5 of them. DeRocco with it, his right hand, and gives it to Wallstrom. Wallstrom, the ex-guy for Penn State. Now Hobbs circles it back. Is good defense that time from Hopkins. It's Matthews. Down low. Trainer has it again. Matt Trainer with a 4-goal first half, and Penn State leads 6-2.
And that was just a heck of a feed from Liam Matthews. Just worked across the front of the defense, saw Trainer cut down low, and again, an absolute dime down to the 22 in front. And Jelinas has been absolutely almost perfect for Johns Hopkins for the situation he's put in, and just that time with 22 right in front, it's pretty hard to stop him.
Not much you can do one-on-one there as Matt Trainer just burnt Scott Smith. Smith, the graduate, an All-American, but just could not keep up with Matt Trainer, and Trainer has just had more speed and athleticism today than the defenders of Johns Hopkins, a defense crew that has stayed rather together this year. Here to some other areas in which Hopkins has battled injuries. I think Russell Melendez on the attack, a big catalyst for this offense, out yet again. Patrick Hackler, the short stick guy for them. Played in 10 games. He's out as well.
Again, you got to give him credit, though. I mean, this is their 9th ranked opponent now, and they're 4-4 against ranked opponents so far this season.
Peden had a push, instead out to Trainer, and he fires that one wide. Almost unevaded to the net again was Matt Trainer. And Johns Hopkins is going to call another timeout. Hopkins does not have an answer for this guy. Hasn't necessarily showed up just yet on the stat sheet, but has been all over there. It's Will Peden.
Yeah, especially on the wings. Will Peden's been able to draw a lot of double teams away from the middle of the field, so he's been huge.
Amon, shot sails wide. Wallstrom backs it up for Penn State.
Well, not only that, also at X, Will Peden just kind of sits around the crease and communicates. Kyle Lehman 2 possessions ago. They're trying to set up a screen, and you can see him on the bottom of the screen right there.
Peden, number 12, right in the middle of your screen. Now Trainer. Going to double team on Trainer, and a good job that time to knock it free. Luke Martin causing a fit that time for Trainer. Now Scott Smith into the offensive side. Smith passes it off to Eiler, and the pass misses, so Penn State gets it. That time around, may have wanted to take a little bit more time there if you were Hopkins. Let your offense set up. There's times where you can push the pace, but the long stick that time and the 4 defenders just closing in on Smith forces the bad possession.
Exactly. It's been the defense, again, coming up with these turnovers, but then it's been hot potato between the 30s and then offensive end. They're just trying to get set up. They lose it. And those are just possessions you have to have against this Penn State offense right now.
Hobbs nearly loses his footing. Luke Martin all over him. Martin starting to percolate on the defensive end, trying to knock it free from Duraco. Luke Martin all over there. Trainer. It's up to Carragher. Hobbs fights in. He's pushed down. Carragher finds the ball and manages to get a weak shot off on towards Jelinas.
Looks like a timeout may be called by Penn State. It was
by Penn State. It will be Hopkins' possession when they come out of the timeout, but Jeff Tambroni wants to burn one here and talk things over. 6-2, Penn State leads. Just over a minute left here in the first half on Big Ten Plus. It's a whiteout crowd here at Panzer Stadium, a packed house, standing room only from the looks of it, down in front of us here in the Big Ten Plus broadcast booth, and a crowd that thought Penn State had lost possession, but the timeout from Jeff Tambroni came before the Nittany Lions lost the ball on a Colby Wishar caused turnover, so Nittany Lions keep it under 20 on the shot clock, and it doesn't matter. Matt Trainer has another 5th goal of the first half for Matt Trainer. And the Nittany Lions lead by 5. It's 7-2.
I mean, it's just another one, Justin, where he's able to sit, has some open room in front of him, and just lets one rip. That time able to grab the right side of the net. And that was a huge call, huge timeout by head coach Jeff Tambroni during the media timeout. There was some confusion of whether or not whose possession it was. Tambroni gets the call, and Trainer cashes in for his head coach.
During the break, Mike, you and I were talking, it was the offensive coordinator for Penn State, John Haas, going over and kind of trying to figure it out. John Haas, the son of former John Hopkins head coach John Haas. The elder of the John Haas's coached from 1999 to 2000 as another timeout comes. John Haas guided the Blue Jays to a pair of trips to the NCAA semifinals as well as a 20-7 record. He was originally an assistant coach at Homewood from 1988 to 1994, then returned back. But the connection between these two sides, and it was John Haas during that last time out that really figured out what was going on and realized Penn State had possession, and then, well, his offense goes right to work.
I mean, Penn State's offense has been one of the best in the Big Ten ever since he's gotten here, and there's a reason for that. I mean, John Haas has been a mastermind for Jeff Tambroni and his squad. I mean, already right in the huddle, talking it up, able to get that timeout with 43 to go. And real quick, back to that draw, Kobe Baldwin kind of lost that at first, able to poke it out. The ball flew up, fly ball, he caught it, and was able to keep possession. I mean, Baldwin, if you're Jeff Tambroni, you've just got to be in awe of his response from last week's struggles to then this week's successes, especially against Logan Callahan, who is as good as it comes in any lacrosse world. So for Penn State right now, this is another big possession here. If they can cash in, make it number 8, number 7 in the second quarter, I mean, it's a pretty big deficit for Johns Hopkins, who is struggling a little bit on offense to try to overcome.
If you remember last week for Hopkins, it was a struggle in the first half as well, led to Orange Elinas getting pulled from the contest. Not much really Elinas can do here, as Matt Traynor has just gotten to the net unevaded time and time again. Continues to give fits to this defense of a defensive unit of Scott Smith, Quentin Kilrain, and Colby Wishar that have had such strong years for Hopkins, but just unable to stop with the Penn State senior, the third-team All-American in 2023, has been able to do. And Trainor's got it right back for Penn State. They're going to keep feeding him until an answer comes from the Blue Jays, and the answer right now is Smith. But a spin dodge. Now trying to break the double. Traynor instead passes. Amon shot that one. Gets a piece of Smith. Hopkins comes away with it. Kilrain through midfield. Good play from behind. Hunter Aquino strips it free, and time is going to expire as Hunter Aquino takes away a last-second opportunity for Johns Hopkins. And Mike, at the end of the first half, it's 7-2 Penn State. But before we get there, the third member of our team, Kaylee Tallman, is standing by with Penn State head coach Jeff Tambroni.
Thanks, Justin. You had one goal on the scoreboard at the end of the first quarter. You just put on.
Top 20 matchup in the nation is fairly one-sided. 7-2 in favor of Penn State as we welcome you back for the second half here on Big Ten Plus. Justin Chevallella joined alongside Mike Bolger. Mike, this is a Penn State team that you go to the comparison of the first half. They lead in shots on goals. They lead in faceoffs. They have less turnovers. It has been Penn State all day.
Absolutely, and it's kind of weird. We talked about it during the break. It seems like some of the times Johns Hopkins is pulling double teams on Will Pete and Liam Matthews or anybody else, and sometimes Matt Traynor just kind of sneaks by, and that's why he's got 5 in this first half and 10 shots. He's just been able to get great looks that, I mean, if you get 22 a great look, you're just going to tell him to take it every single time. So Johns Hopkins really needs to win at the faceoff X here, gain a lot more possessions.
Only 2 of Johns Hopkins' games this season have been decided by 4 or more goals. Right now, this would be the third. They did it last week against Ohio State too. Opening faceoff of the second half did go the way of the Blue Jays.
Again, you can take your time getting the offense settled. You need a stepping stone, right? You just need one goal to step up to the next one and then keep going. But that right there, that you got to be careful of. Penn State's attacking the passing lanes. You've got to be more careful.
Matt Collison passed it off to English. Now Eiler. Haven't really seen Hopkins work from X either today. You wonder if maybe that comes into their second half game plan. But a turnover here from Chuck Rawson. And Penn State heads the other way.
Yeah, there's good contact there by Brendan Leary, just able to hit his guy as soon as the pass was coming off. It basically just rolled into Frastian's net. And I mean, Frastian, we talked about him. I mean, he had a great fourth quarter against Michigan and kind of thought he might carry that over today. He hasn't had to do too much, to be honest with you. 3 shots on goal by Johns Hopkins, and obviously 2 have rung in. He had that one incredible save, and that's been about it for number 11. So the defense is doing their job.
Matt Trainer passes it off to Amon. Gonna dodge, instead passes to Wallstrom. Wallstrom has a screen set from him for Long, now hands it off to Long. Long and Wallstrom playing pitch and catch. Just about 2 minutes done in this third quarter. It's a tale of two quarters to this point as Wallstrom kept it on the ground. It gets swallowed up by a body in front and found its way to Jelinas, who picked it up with ease.
That was really good communicating by the Blue Jays. I mean, they were bunched up there for a minute as Penn State was working back at X, and now in transition again, just getting bullied, but that time able to keep possession.
Fancy behind the back pass gave the ball to Reese DeChico, the freshman from Ontario. Now Hunter Chauvette, far side. But a quiet day for the leaders of this offense. Goals from Collison and Ayers, that's all for Hopkins, averaging 10.64 goals per game. Stuart Phillips pushed in, passed off. Now Ayers finds a streaking Eric Chick in his shot. Wide to the right of Jack Frassian. It's got to be tough on a day like this, cold here in Panzer, for Frassian to stay ready, and especially with all the possession going on the other side of the field. It's Eiler, circles from X, behind the back shot, that one ricochets, and a good backup that time on the dive from Stuart Phillips, a senior from British Columbia.
Able to get a step at the crease, wrap around, and Frassian just read it perfectly, able to butt it out, and again, just not get Johns Hopkins the looks they're wanting.
Hopkins still looking for something as Bauer is pushed off by Ross. Ross now goes on to Chauvette. Chauvette gets it to Phillips, who gets demolished by John King. And Kevin Parnham goes the other way. Parnham passes it off to Trainer, sticking the way that time from Scott Smith. So Penn State will settle down and reset their offense. 11:34 to go in the third.
John King, 6 foot, 187, so maybe not the biggest of guys weight-wise, but man, he packs a punch that time. My goodness.
You wonder if Penn State football might be looking for an extra middle linebacker this year with that hit, as Matt Trainer has his 6, kept it low this time and squeaks it by Jelinas.
Third time Trainer's going low to high, and that time it really wasn't too much special. He just got 22 the ball, and he finds a way to squeak the ball by a few defenders and into the back of the net. I'm kind of curious on this replay if Jelinas really got a good read on, as you see Trainer got it through, and yeah, maybe Jelinas was a step behind his read, and man, that's number 6 on the day from Trainer.
It's a season high for Matt Trainer, passing the 5 he put up against Colgate and Princeton. He's one away from his career high of 7 set last year against Cornell. It has been one incredible day for Matt Trainer here at Panzer. A historic day of sorts as Brendan Leary comes away with it. Leary streaking down the field. Brendan Leary, his shot. Jelinas with the save. There was a rebound available. Quentin Kilrain comes away with it, and quickly the other way. Hopkins looking to get something going offensively, taking the shot, but it's swallowed up by Frassian, and a flag flies. There was another big hit that time from the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan O'Connor with a shot up high. We'll wait for the official call as the referees are meeting at midfield right there. But yeah, I mean, right now, why is the draws going so well for Penn State? Well, it's the ground balls. Last week they weren't really able to get many ground balls after the clamp, and that time Brendan Leary was able to scoop it, takes it the opposite way. He scored last week. He said, let me try it again, and that time Jelinas read it perfectly. Great rebound too, and going the opposite way in transition. I'm kind of thinking that the Blue Jays want to capitalize more on transition. Again, we talked about it earlier in the game that Maryland and Ohio State each were able to score a handful of goals in transition against Penn State, and that's how they really butt out their scores. So Johns Hopkins maybe want to capitalize here, but now they're man up with Kevin Parnham over there on the sidelines.
Not only is Parnham over on the sideline, the officials are taking a secondary look at this. Behind where Parnham is in the box, it was the freshman Liam Burke that got blown up by Kevin Parnham, and they are taking a look at the hit.
Yeah, high hit up to the head and neck area.
It's a weird one because of Burke leaving his feet.
Yep.
And that might save Kevin Parnham here, as that one certainly up high. But again, Burke leaves his feet. He still had that left foot on the ground from that angle when the hit was delivered. Officials taking the longer look here. You know Hopkins is going to be man up. It's a matter of how long they're going to be man up.
One, not only at that, but if it's releasable too, right? I mean, this could be a huge turning point for the Blue Jays if they're able to grab a couple here. I mean, there's a minute right now on the board for Kevin Parnham. So, as you said, Justin, we know it's going to go against Penn State and it will stand, but it's just a matter of what the penalty is officially called.
Right now it's sent as an illegal body check, and the minute will be the 20th man-up opportunity for Johns Hopkins. They have not had many this season. As you see it there in live, certainly big hit from Parnham, a leader of this team. One of the captains wearing the number 16 jersey. They're starting to send the two teams back out as the officials do come away from the replay area. We're talking things over now with Jeff Tambroni and the coaching staff for Penn State. It's 8-2, Nittany Lions lead. The Lions looking for a second conference win. Hopkins looking to pick up their first. They're 0-3. Big Ten tournament rapidly approaching. If Hopkins was able to win today and next week against Maryland, they'd be able to have a home game in the tournament, but have a lot of work to do. As it stays at a minute for Parnham. Man up, shot save made, Frassian. Hunter Chauvet getting the shot off for Johns Hopkins. And it's the first sign of life in a little while for this Hopkins squad that hasn't scored since midway through the second.
And right there, Frastian just able to read it perfectly too. He didn't really have a need to deflect it out, but again, it's his eye vision that's been great this game.
Another save from Frassian, so back-to-back on Hunter Chauvet. And 20 seconds left on the man-up opportunity for the Blue Jays. Penn State trying to clear it. Kyle Aldridge swarmed and then decides to go long to Kyle Lehman, and it's too long and over the head. So it'll be a turnover that time from Aldridge. As you look at the save from Frassian using his lower half of his body to stop it. Think back to last year when he made that save in between the ankles.
Yep.
On the bunny hop.
I was thinking the same thing. And that's huge right now. Even with the turnover, if you're Penn State, you just kind of take that. Now you get one of your ace defenders that is on the field 24/7 with Will Costin and Alex Ross to ace this defense and, again, keep the pressure up against Johns Hopkins.
Man-up opportunity goes by the wayside. So now 7-20 on the season are the Blue Jays. Parnham stayed off. John King came in instead. Aldridge and English. English passes it off. Chuck Rawson back pedals and gives it off to Carlson. Nearly a high pass. Bauer goes up and gets it. Eiler working from behind the net. Eiler. Sweet spin. Passes it off. Carlson, his shot sails wide. Eiler closest to it, backing it up. So possession maintains the way of Hopkins. 8:56 to go in the third. 23 on the shot clock. As Bauer trying to work around Aldridge. He does so, but swarmed by the rest of the Penn State defense. And this one ricochets up and out. Hunter Chauvet, the one that runs it down, the sophomore in Chauvet.
The entire defense, the middle of the defense just collapsed right there as Bauer was crossing in.
Rawson had a lane, but it's stripped away. Good play again by the Penn State defense. John King among the multiple bodies. Rawson nearly had a lane to the net.
Yeah, that would have been a hard save for Frasian to try to make, and Rawson just couldn't corral it. If he does, that's probably the third of Johns Hopkins' day.
There's a couple bodies there for Penn State. Patrick Keenan as well was on that defensive effort. First time we've heard his name today, or called his name rather. So Penn State sets up their offense. It's 6 goals for Matt Trainer. You know they're going to look for him. Trainer on the far side. Scott Smith closest to him. Right now it's Amon. And now Lehman. Lehman curls. Now the other way. His shot hits the side of the net. Jelinas out to collect. Wallstrom trying to force a turnover. Good job by Jelinas to just get the pass over to Quentin Kilrain.
I mean, Jelinas hasn't seen too many shots so far this quarter, but the ones that he has and the opportunities that they've had around the crease, he's attacking more, and he's playing a little more aggressive, and I like the aggressiveness from him right now. Obviously, you're down by 6. You just continue to need huge stands as the game progresses, and he's able to get one there.
A third quarter that has taken much of the same as the first. Just 2 goals combined between the two squads in the first 15 minutes. Then Penn State outscores Hopkins 6-1 in the second. Right now, Penn State with the lone goal, the third. Eric Chick trying to get the goal to go, but he's stripped from behind. Charlie Eiler there to back it up behind the net. Eiler trying to spin around. Now Bauer, 5'9", passes it to Chauvet. That weird angle shot is saved by Frasian. I don't know exactly how Jimmy Ayers got that shot off, but it got on Frasian. Frasian makes another save.
Yeah, Will Carlson was all over him, and then it gets off of Frasian's stick onto his shoulder, and it looked like it might have hit the top of the bar or his helmet, and then it rings out. And as you said, Justin, that was just a weird shot with, again, Carlson playing really efficient defense, and another big stop. I mean, these defenses are just playing amazing today.
They're both in rhythm right now. Wallstrom trying to knock the Blue Jays defense out of rhythm. So is this guy, Matt Trainer. Trainer falls, keeps possession. Finds a dodge, now in on Jelinas, and it's goal number 7 for Matt Trainer, tying a career high, and what a day at Panzer for Matt Trainer.
I mean, just a career day, a legacy game for Matt Trainer. 29th on the season, as you said, Justin. I mean, just 7th on the day. Trainer, when he gets that slide there, he beats him inside, avoids the hit, and rolls across the top of the crease inside. And again, it's just one-on-ones in that tight of a room for Trainer to work through for Jelinas. It's just so difficult to try to guess and anticipate where 22 is going to go. And again, there's not too much room for error between the two. And Trainer, I believe that's his 3rd or 4th goal right on the doorstep of the crease.
It's another face-off to Penn State, but a push that time for Baldwin, so it'll actually go the way of Johns Hopkins, and Tristan Jewell picks it up during the contest for his first time. So Dylan Bauer has it, following the 7th goal for Matt Trainer. 29th of the season, 7 of which have come today. Again, tying a career high, set back on March 9, 2024 against Cornell. English pushes it out to Ayers. Ayers with that awkward shot as last time, somehow keeps the ball in his stick here. 3 Penn State defenders, and Ayers gets a free pass off. Now Eiler. Eiler, his shot, he buries it. And Hopkins gets their first goal of the second half. It's Charlie Eiler wrapping around from X and burying it past Jack Frasian.
Charlie Eiler was just able to get, again, another step around. He beats his man inside after getting the ball at X, and Will Costin. Looks like Costin just slipped his left foot, and Frasian read it perfectly. And you can see Frasian's mad at himself. He thought he was in perfect position to make the save, but he's able to wrap around and get that ball to go low left of the net. And finally, Johns Hopkins able to put one stone down to try to step themselves up, and they got to get another one here.
11th goal of the season for Charlie Eiler. Back-to-back games with the goals. He had one against the Buckeyes of Ohio State last week, a game that Johns Hopkins stayed within, in a game that Jeff Tambroni, the head coach of Penn State, said Hopkins probably deserved to win that game looking at the film, but when you got a guy named Caleb Fyock in net for Ohio State, it's tough to win, and Penn State ran into Fyock a couple weeks ago in a 13-9 loss. So both teams lose by 4 to Ohio State and Caleb Fyock, and, well, similar story for both of them in the contest.
Yeah, Fyock, I mean, just generational talent right now over there at Ohio State. It's just such a huge reason why they're having so much success this season.
Wallstrom to Lehman. You know they're going to be looking for Trainer. He's looking to set a new career high. Trainer down at X. Really hasn't played from there today. Been off on the wing. Now Trainer looking for the dodge, but Scott Smith, good defense. Staying put on Trainer. Lehman. 4:40 to go in this third quarter.
Look, Penn State's bunching Trainer down low.
Eden. Aquino. Now Wallstrom. Wallstrom finds Lehman, wrap around, and a save made by Jelinas. Just got a piece of his stick. And Kyle Lehman had a clear path on the wrap from X.
That's a huge confidence booster. I mean, one-on-one, again, right as Lehman was coming across, diving across. It's a difficult shot to read sometimes, but Jelinas was able to read it perfectly. Again, just confidence booster. That's huge for goalies to have and head into the final 18 minutes of this one. He's got to continue to build on it.
Hopkins looking to build on the goal down here their last time. Rawson faked the pass, found Bauer instead. He's looking to go to the far side, went to the near side. Now Bauer. Bauer looking to dodge around Leary. King goes and helps. Bauer gets around both. Shot! Score! From way downtown, it's Dylan Bauer picking up his 13th goal of the season. And Johns Hopkins with back-to-back possessions resulting in a tally.
And last possession, it was Kyle Aldridge who tried to jump the pass, and that led to kind of Penn State's defense being a little understaffed down low. And then this time it was John King who reads it perfectly. He tells Brendan Leary, all right, let me slip off on him. And then John King tries to go after the stick, and the ball gets beat. And Bauer, long-range shot. And we talk about Frastine's struggles so far this season. Normally that's something we see him make a save on, and that time just gets by him. Johns Hopkins gains some momentum, but Colby Baldwin has done that all day.
Actually, it will go the way of Scott Smith picking up the ground ball off the face-off. It looked like originally Baldwin had it, but it knocked free and Smith comes away. Momentum in favor of Hopkins. We knew they wouldn't go down without a fight. They've been in many close games. There's a turnover here. Ryan O'Connor and Kyle Aldridge combining for that one. Aldridge backs away on the Big Ten logo. Kyle Lehman settles things down as the third quarter draws towards a near. Less than 3 minutes to go. The teams have each tallied 2 goals in the quarter. It's Peter Milliman's squad to build comeback, down by 5.
And here's the second defense or midi line for Penn State with Duraco out there along with Mac Hobbs. And Carragher looks like so.
Hobbs. Smith. And strong defense. Trainer. Well downtown, will push in. Matt Trainer. His shot. That one swallowed up by Jelinas. A huge save that time from Orange Jelinas. And a couple big saves in a row to go along with the 2 goals in the last couple minutes from Johns Hopkins. They've got something going, do the Blue Jays.
Jelinas is just heating up. He's got confidence. Again, we said when we came out of halftime, he's attacking the ball more now, and I like what he's doing. So he's just got to keep it up. And when you do that, you kind of quiet Penn State's offense, quiet their momentum. Your offensive side's building on some mistakes that they're making. This scoreboard can get flipped in an instant.
Stuart Phillips down to Eiler. Eiler to Bowers. Those are 2 of the 3, or rather 4 goal scorers today for the Blue Jays. We talked about it earlier. Russell Melendez being out for the Blue Jays squad, they've tried to split up and divvy his production. It's been a bit of a struggle. They've started to find a rhythm. Hunter Chauvet. It's John King on him. Awkward pass, stays with Eric Chick. Bauer, nice spin dodge on Parnham. Passes it off to Chick. Collison, pushed down. King trying to steal it. Ball free. Leary picks it up. Brendan Leary streaking down the field. Brendan Leary to Kyle Lehman, and that shot. A lot of velocity, but not on net. So Penn State's possession, 52.4 to go here in the third. They can hold for the final shot.
We talk about Matt Trainor's bread and butter, and that's sending an absolute missile from long range, right, on the wing. Well, bread and butter for John King is his physicality. No matter who he's against, he's just able to play bully ball a lot of the times. That's like the third time we've seen him put somebody on their back and force a turnover. And again, just Brendan Leary in transition, you don't ever know what he's going to do. I mean, most of the time, he sits back and assists somebody, but this past couple of times, he's taking a shot by himself.
Will Peden. Matt Trainor right now has a front row seat on the Penn State sideline. As Wallstrom passes it off, Amon, his shot. Bounces wide. 10 seconds to go in the third. Kyle Lehman.
Try to find Aquino or Amon here. Amon's bunched up with Liam Matthews down low. Here comes Aquino down 2.
Lehman streaks in. Tries to center it. Too many sticks in the way. Ball free and a bouncing shot. And I believe that Amon got off. Will be taken by Jelinas. So 9-4 at the end of 3, and the Matt Trainor show continues here at Panzer. Trainor with 7 goals, but it was the Blue Jays with back-to-back goals to cut the deficit down. Dylan Bauer spins around King and then buries it past Jack Frasian. 15 minutes left in regulations. Does Hopkins have a comeback still in the tank? We'll find out when we... Final 15 minutes here at Panzer. Penn State leads 9-4 in the top 20 matchup. Justin Chiavalella joined alongside Mike Bolger. And Mike, it's been Johns Hopkins with back-to-back goals in this one, but at the same time, they're coming off of Penn State mistakes.
Yeah, Penn State's defense playing a little too loose, trying to call some turnovers that they've been able to all day long. You're going to see them play a lot more sound defense here in the final minutes, and really the thing about it is if Penn State's offense is able to score 1 or 2 goals, I don't want to say pulls it fully out of reach, but it pushes it out to where Johns Hopkins is going to need to climb a huge mountain that they already are trying to get off to. So a face-off win here to start it off is always a good sign, and you just got to win the one-on-one battles if you're the Blue Jays right now.
In case you realize that it may have gotten darker on your screen and some fans are starting to hide themselves, it is starting to drizzle a bit here at Panzer. It has been one wacky weather week is probably the best way to put it. In fact, snow fell on Monday here in University Park, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania weather for you.
But hey, it's supposed to be 56 tomorrow and sunny. As Bauer hands off to Ayers. Chuck Rawson makes a push around Aldridge. Finds Ayers. Ayers got Air to get that pass, but John King knocks it free. Matt Collison, lucky bounce into his stick.
I like this matchup. King, who's a little smaller than Collison, but he's physical, and then Collison, who's just a big dude and can wrap around any defender.
Nice. Collison will try to wrap around. His shot goes wide. You talk about King being a bit smaller, 6 foot 187. Matt Collison standing at 6 foot 4, 225. So a 4-inch difference and a 40-pound difference as well as a shot sails wide, and Penn State and Alex Ross closest to it. So Ross gives it to Frasian. Penn State, you know the story about their offense. It's 7 goals for Matt Trainor, tying a career high. 3 away from the Penn State single game record of 10, but Trainor just on the midfield area right now. Penn State likely going to take time on each possession here and run out these final 15 minutes. Don't give too many possessions back to the Blue Jays. Amon to Aquino. Back to Amon, the two first-year Penn State players. One a graduate transfer, the other a freshman. As Aquino picks it up. Trainer, his shot, bodied out in front. Jelinas with some big saves on Matt Trainer. Starting to figure it out at a time where Johns Hopkins need everything to go their way.
Yeah, and again, that was just a really good opportunity by Penn State, but Jelinas steps up again. The goalie for Johns Hopkins is, had a struggle in the second quarter just off of Matt Trainer being who he is, and now he's starting to settle in. That was a really good pass, too, from Aquino, slipping off the screen and then able to feed Trainer down low.
Collison. Pardon me, that actually Liam Burke. Chauvet out in front. Had to retreat. Strict defense from the Nittany Lions. Burke put it on the turf. Leary didn't contest it. Liam Burke. Passes to Eiler at X. Eiler to Bauer. Bauer looking to spin around Parham again. Can't do it here. Chick. Stutter step. Goes in, is taken down. And the flag out on Penn State. As Johns Hopkins loses it. Time is called.
Yeah, it's a big penalty right now. Johns Hopkins, as you enter the final 11 minutes, down by 5, obviously, in College Cross. Offenses can strike quickly and at a fast pace, but if you're going to get anything going, it needs to happen right here, right now. This is the biggest opportunity that you're going to get. This Penn State defense doesn't make too many mistakes like this one. So you get the freshman.
It was Luca DiBartolomeo, freshman from Lower Merion, Pennsylvania. One of 3 DiBartolomeo brothers on this Penn State roster. Charlie Eiler. Is it 1 minute? Tripping on Luca DiBartolomeo, pardon me. And it's taken away by Ross. Ross strips English. Now Alex Ross to Kyle Lehman. Lehman to Trainer. And Trainer will retreat. 26 seconds left on the man up.
Good pick by Alex Ross, and then Trainer thought about it.
And Ross will take a shot. That one saved by Jelinas. On the ground, it's picked up. Matthews settles things down, gives it up to Aldridge. Less than 10 seconds on the man up. Johns Hopkins going to go to 0-2 on the day in man up opportunities. Penn State already 0 for 2 on theirs.
Well, I was going to say his trainer was sitting waiting for the offense to get substitutions on, but Johns Hopkins kind of forgot about Alex Ross, was still sitting there, the defender for Penn State, and got a good shot off. But again, Jelinas has been on one this second half, and he's been playing efficient and tight ball between the pipes right now. So 87 is standing tall for the Blue Jays.
Up to 11 saves. Wallstrom kicks out to Trainer up top. There's Amon. Trainer down low to Wallstrom. Wallstrom, less than 10 on the shot clock. Finds Amon, or at least looks for him, and the pass way wire. It's picked up by Luke Martin.
It's another good feed down to Amon. I mean, Penn State's been able to feed them down low a couple of times today, but again, it's the defenses who have gotten in the passing lanes, who have, when it does get to somebody, they've been able to poke it out, and it's just been fun. If you're a fan of defense, it's been a fun day for you, for either squad.
Back pass to Ayers. Now Rawson on Leary. He's going to have to backpedal. We mentioned Jelinas on the other side, really helping the defensive effort for the Blue Jays. 11 saves, second most of his season, and back to the man up. Hopkins is going to go. But right now, they play it even. 9 minutes to go in the game. It's 9-4. Lack of offense as of late. Charlie Eiler looking to work around Will Peden. Strong defense, wouldn't move, and now a shot from Bauer, save made. Frassian, and back to the man up. Go the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and Frassian, really good save right there, but John King just getting a little too aggressive. You see that right arm gets underneath and shoves him down to the ground. I know Jeff Tambroni is probably really upset on that sideline right now. That's now 2 goals that Johns Hopkins has scored off of a few mistakes, now 2 penalties in this 4th quarter. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says after this game, post-game media. But this Penn State defense has been playing great all day. They just got to settle in here in the final few minutes and close the game out. But Johns Hopkins, now this is your 3rd man up opportunity. You're 0 for 2 on the day. You got to cash it in here. You have to.
Only 30 seconds for John King. Eiler finds Rawson. Rawson did have a lane. It was closed quickly by Will Peden. Chauvet, English, Bauer to Eiler. Eiler up top. Pass too high for Chauvet. Got a stick on it and picks it up. John King out of the box. They'll bring on somebody else instead.
Back even, looks like.
Perry DiBartolomeo, the one that fired out instead of John King. Matt Collison looking to take it around Kyle Aldridge. Pass to Chauvet, near side. Nice dodge move around Ryan O'Connor, who left his feet, but the shot sails wide.
Yeah, we haven't called Chauvet's name, obviously the leading point scorer on this Johns Hopkins team.
Shot clock expiring. Eiler puts one right in to the stick of Jack Frassian.
That's one of the biggest matchups of the day coming into the day was Chauvet, and again, haven't seen him too much. Frassian, although the time did expire, he gets another save underneath his belt. It was a good look, and he's able to save it for his team now in transition here. He's just got to be a little careful, and Ross just kind of sends one flying.
Ross takes a long shot as the 10-man ride starting to give fits to the Nittany Lions. Heads up play to get the shot, and the Nittany Lions backing it up. They take possession. It's one way to get the clear.
It's an efficient way too. You just put someone back at X, they don't realize it, and you just send a long shot. At least you just get a shot on net.
So now Hobbs. Penn State's offense has started to go quiet since the 7th goal of the day for Matt Traynor. No goals in this quarter for either side. Carragher gives it to Hobbs. Hobbs with Quentin Kilrain on him. Hobbs, spin dodge. Under 20 to go on the shot clock. Penn State, we said, was going to probably start milking it. Not sure if it's all by choice, though, as Lehman gives it to Traynor. Traynor looking for Liam Matthews. It goes awry. Traynor picks up the free ball, and that shot is sail wide again.
That was going to be something if Traynor it was something that he even got the shot off with 1 second left to go on the shot clock, but then he was able to score there, his 8th of the day. That would have been probably SportsCenter top 10.
Do-do-do, do-do-do. But instead, just a shot that goes wide. And now a turnover on the pass from Hopkins. So sloppy play for a team trailing by 5 and needing another handful of goals.
Well, it's just been the play in transition, right? On clears, they've turned it over so many times. I mean, they've got to clean up the middle 30 if they want to continue their run, especially in the Big Ten tournament. You can't let Big Ten teams like Penn State capitalize off this type of stuff. So I think that's one of the biggest stories of the day coming from the Blue Jays. They've got to clean up their transition game.
Kino. It's almost a 10-minute scoreless drought for the Nittany Lions, and it'll be a timeout on the field. This Hopkins team starting to cause problems if Jeff Tambroni wants to talk things over with his offense. 5:39 to go in the game. Penn State leads 9-4. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. Jeff Tambroni and his squad wanting to talk things over, as after 30 shots in the first half, Penn State has just 14 here in the second. They've been held scoreless for nearly 10 minutes of game action now. Actually over 10 minutes, 10 minutes and 12 seconds, which marks now the 12th time this season that Hopkins has held opponents to a scoreless stretch for 10 minutes or longer. 19 of those droughts have lasted at least 14 minutes. Penn State hoping that's not the case, looking for another tally coming out of the timeout. Hopkins has also held 7 of its first 11 opponents under the season scoring average, and they're doing so right now against Penn State as Aquino takes a fire and it sails wide. Amon to back it up. Penn State under their season average, 13 goals per game. Wallstrom, nearly backpicked. Now instead Trainer. Trainer stutters, in, shot, save made, Jelinas. And down on the turf is Matt Trainer. Slow to get up.
Yeah, Trainer took an absolute shot there. Anytime you collapse down onto the crease and take a dive like that, there's always a bad chance that a defender's sitting right there and can get a hard hit on you. That time it's like he got caught up in in 3 defenders, so he's still out there. Looks to be okay.
Aquino finds him. Trainer isolated with Scott Smith. Trainer circles around, finds a pass. Liam Matthews was streaking in, lost it. Trainer finds it. Long pass over to Wallstrom. Near side, Wallstrom was all alone. Trainer's going to go bounce off to the sideline. Liam Matthews finds the guy. It's Will Peden who came in for Matt Trainer. Peden got Wallstrom. Wallstrom, his shot, he's blown up afterwards. Shot got a piece of Martin, and Martin got a full piece of Luke Wallstrom. Lehman spins, and the shot clock expires as Lehman's shot sails out.
This was a vicious hit right there. Boom, just lowers the shoulder. Looks like a piece of equipment flew off. I don't know if it was the helmet or something like that, but flew off and landed on the ground. And for Penn State, again, that's a fine possession because you run out more of the clock, but for Johns Hopkins now, you got to get going, and you can already see they're picking the pace up here on offense.
Under 4 minutes to go. Hopkins needs 5 goals, trailing 9-4, and right now playing in the midfield. Got to push the pace. They do so with Liam Burke. Burke spins. His shot goes well high. So 3:33 to go.
And you're going to see some, not desperation shots, but some pretty forceful shots to just try to get something against Jack Frasian.
Charlie Eiler on the other side of the field. Matt Trainer has returned to the turf. It's Dylan Bauer. Works it down low. It's Burke. Burke around King. And Burke off to Eric Chick. Chick. Aldridge all over him. Ryan O'Connor joins the fight. And the ball found its way, Jimmy Ayers, but also finds its way out of play. So good defense here by the Nittany Lions. No goals for either side here in this fourth. As Eric Chick looking to change that, bounces one wide of Jack Frasian. 8 seconds, or rather that's a 6 on the shot clock. Eiler. That pass. Good job by Parnham to step in the way of it. And now Penn State going to push the pace. Aldridge goes deep. Matthews wide open. And he will slow things down. He will not take the shot.
He would have had it, but again, that's just a smart play by 51. I mean, Liam Matthews, sophomore, didn't really play much last year, now has stepped up in a big role on this team on offense, and just a smart play. At this point, you're just trying to milk the clock. Johns Hopkins with a very long possession last time, and they took way too much time to try to generate any offense, and Now Penn State can kind of just hold it, run out the rest of this clock, and there's not too much time left on the board to do much.
Peden puts it on the ground. Hopkins with the fight for it. Smith, and it comes free. Now it's picked up at midfield by Matt Hobbs. Hobbs loses balance, flag up, and Penn State will go man up with 1:51 left in the contest.
Yeah, and that's just the cherry on top, it seems like, for Johns Hopkins. I mean, transition, try to get it back. Matt Hobbs is able to scoop it up. It's pushed from behind. Flag flies, and again, that's just a huge call right there at this point in the game. Johns Hopkins, a few possessions ago, again, just took a long time. They were able to get 2 shots off, but they weren't anything too well. And at that point, again, you're just trying to get so much shots on Jack Frasty and just see what can fly at this point in the game. Now with a 5-goal lead, Penn State can kind of just drain this clock the rest of the way and wrap this thing up.
51, it's a 30-second pushing penalty on Jack Monfort. Penn State in its normal set. Trainer up top. Could be looking for his 8th. He'll pass it off to Aquino instead. He's going to have to, somebody will have to take a shot for the Nittany Lions, and might as well make it Trainer. Here it is. That one, it was wide of Jelinas. Not sure if he grabbed a piece of it on the way by. I don't think he did. Based on the shot clock not resetting. Aquino, up top Trainer. Back to Aquino. This rip, it goes. Matt Trainer gets the assist. Hunter Aquino season. And it's 10-4 in favor of the Nittany Lions.
There it is, the icing on the cake to end the day. Matt Trainer just up top. He's been able to command the man-up unit from there, draw some attention to the top of the zone, and just feeds Aquino, gets by the defender. And Aquino was dropped down to that second midi line against Ohio State, was able to bounce back against Maryland from an injury, and now and Michigan, excuse me, and now against Johns Hopkins, he's able to record a goal for his team.
Callahan gets the face-off for Hopkins, is taken down that time by Baldwin. Another flag flies as Penn State grabs possession in the midfield. You get the whistle as Peden picked it up. 1:11 to go. It's an 8-point day for Matt Trainer.
Insane. Absolutely insane day. Career day for Matt Trainer, and kind of the game Penn State needed, right? I mean, they came home and they faced off against Ohio State, dropped one, went on 2 road trip, and was able to grab one against Michigan, but you needed a home win, a big one at that, and against a ranked opponent in the Blue Jays, Big Ten opponent in that, and that's absolutely just ginormous for the schedule, for the Big Ten tournament, and really when you look at the NCAA tournament, when everybody looks back at the calculations of who got in and who got out, I mean, this one's going to add up to the board.
This is certainly going to help Penn State's resume. A top 20 victory by a wide margin. Not exactly sure what that margin will be just yet, as Collison's shot is saved by Frasty, trying to keep it as a 6-goal margin for the moment. Reset the shot clock. Johns Hopkins looking for one more shot. Back to even. 30 seconds to go. Bauer playing this one out. Gets it to Chauvet. We'll get it to Collison. Just 4 goals, well below the season average today for Johns Hopkins. This Penn State defense, you think about that unit as this one gets in on Frasty, but taken away by Brendan Leary. You think about the top unit, Will Costin, Kevin Parnham, Alex Ross. They've had themselves a day. So is Matt Trainer, who's going to throw it on the turf as this contest ends, and Penn State gets the big win over Hopkins, 10-4. 8th win overall.